kick off with Sam from Telegraph.
Hi.
Sorry, I've got a tactical question, so
Okay.
forgive me if it's completely illogical. But with the low block, deep block situation you face, do you want that to a degree because it pins the other team back and keeps them away from your goal? Or would you wish that every team played like PSV did last week?
Depends. Against Man United, we have 11 situations where we have open spaces to attack. 11 big ones. We use 1. Top teams, they use 9. And in the past, and against other teams, we have used 60–70% of that situation. The situation were there, we didn't use them. Then there are the set pieces as well. Then there are positional attacks when do they want to play there? No, maybe you do things that well that you force them to be there, and then you have to be equally efficient in that area, which is the lowest rate in football when you have that much density. It's pure logic. But we have to improve. We've been very good through the season against back fives, for example, and now we have a struggle to win because as when we have certain chances, we didn't score to open up the scores, which is very important in any context of a game.
Yeah, just to the untrained eye, it looks like, for example, that Arsenal and Man City face a lot of those deep blocks because of the way you play and build up. Whereas Liverpool, for example, their games always feel more open and there's less density there. Is that right? Do you think is that because of the way you play, and is that something that?
And context of matches as well, how early you score a goal, because that's in terms of the duration of how much time you have in a low block, and that's very simple to see in the league. What is the ratio? But it's very much related as well how many games you have with certain 0-0 or going down on the score sheet. But maybe our way of playing as well, and the threat that Liverpool has in certain positions and how they can threat from the back line, the opposition line, creates more situations like this. But a lot of them, they've been, for example, from defending set pieces, and then they run. So we haven't conceded many set pieces either.
Jordan, the Sun?
Hi, Mikel. Just on Raheem, how much is his body, his form, struggling with the lack of minutes? And is it a worry for the rest of the season that he's not in perhaps tip-top match condition to come on and impact games?
I mean, for every player that he doesn't play probably consistently, when you ask him, he would say, I lack this and I need that. That's normal when you don't play regularly.
And is it purely just that players ahead of him are better than him or playing better than him right now? Or what more can he do?
Well, he's played games. He come in games like many other players. I mean, at the end is our decision to decide who starts and who comes on. But the same, Kieran has been exceptional. Alex trains every day so well. There are many players. Ethan, when he wasn't playing that much, he deserved to play. Now it's Ben, it's Jakub. I can say exactly the same thing.
And is there a chance between now and the end of the season that he could become a starter, or is his role now just coming off the bench?
The chance is the same for all the players.
Ed, Guardian?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just on the sporting director, I know you can't comment on individuals, but how important is it that the new person comes in as soon as possible so you can start planning for the summer?
Yes, well, I think it's been in a process that the club believe it was the right thing to do, and once they are ready and they believe it's the right moment to make that public, they will do it, and we will work from that. But the club is very prepared on the next steps.
And given how far you find yourself behind Liverpool in the title race and the problems you've had with the squad, do you think it's going to be quite a big summer for us? You need quite a lot of investment in the squad to challenge again for the league next season?
Well, every summer, because there are things that you can predict and other things that probably happen that they are not on the table right now. But I have full belief that our squad, when it's fully fit, is very, very strong.
But in comparison to last year, when you didn't really make many additions, do you think this time you need a couple more, just in case the same sort of thing happens again?
Yeah, we knew that as well as the capacity. That's something that we have as well to do certain things. We knew what is ideal, but yeah, you cannot have sometimes everything that you want, because you have to respect that there are other things that are limiting you.
Mike, the Mirror?
Mikel, when you talk about the final sprint after the Chelsea game in the international break, the reality is that as we speak, you are, in theory, 6 games from winning the Champions League, and if you do a good job tomorrow night, 5 games from winning the Champions League. Is that something you felt the need to emphasise to your players, that you're actually not that far, you've done the lion's share of the work in this competition now?
Yeah, we've done a lot, and probably the most exciting part is coming up right now, and we have to make sure that's why tomorrow and that we do finish the job in the way that we want to do, to put ourselves in a great position to go again.
There are some big clubs obviously left in the Champions League, as there always are in the last 8 or 16. Is there any reason why any of them should look upon Arsenal as outsiders? Because on your day, you could beat any of these teams left in, can't you?
Yes, after you have to do it. I mean, as I said, we've been extremely consistent in the competition. We've been very, very good. And now we have to continue to do, as you said. I have full belief as well that we can compete against any team. Is on those days getting the best out of ourselves and controlling every detail, because when you get to those stages, that's what is going to define the moment to go through or not.
Okay, last couple now. Isam for the Mail.
I'm Carl.
Hi.
With Raheem, obviously, a few seasons ago, he was playing week in, week out, scoring lots of goals, and was a big performer in England. What do you think the main differences are between him 2-3 years ago and him right now at Arsenal?
Well, the time in football flies, as well as playing for different clubs. Things move and change, and you have to do it again. And Raj has been incredibly consistent in the last 10 years for the things that he's done, and it's about doing them again, for sure.
Have you lost anything in particular from then to now?
Lost?
Lost anything, yeah.
Well, now what he's not having is probably the time that he used to have before to play and show that.
And in terms of your relationship with him, of course, at Man City you were assistant coach, and you're quite close with him, spent a lot of time in training and developing different things. How has your relationship changed between obviously being an assistant coach now obviously being his boss?
I mean, the personal level, not so much, but obviously it is different because of the role that he has right now, and what we demand from each other, or what Pep used to demand for him, is different, because now I'm the person that makes the final call.
Okay, and finally we'll go to Hamza from the Times at the back there.
Morning, Cal.
Hi.
When you watched back the PSV match, I know you mentioned earlier it depends on if you scored early and how a team plays, but was there anything that you think your team did differently to score as many goals as you did, or was it just on the day that the shots went in?
Yeah, that we were extremely efficient, that we picked the right place in the box in the right moment, and we had a lot of shots on target in percentage to the amount of attempts that we had. And yeah, that was a big thing.
And just one more from me. I noticed statistically you're one of the teams that moves up through the wings the most in the league. I just wanted to understand what's the idea behind that, because it's a point of difference with most of the league.
Sorry?
You progress up the wings statistically more than most other teams in the league. I just wanted to understand what's the idea behind that, why you attack through the wings more.
Yes, because we have to adjust to the qualities of our plays.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Isn't you don't like to attack through the centre because the players that you have?
Yeah, I like to attack to the center, yeah. If there is, I like to attack where the space is, and where I have more probability to be successful.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry I didn't surprise you. I'll try next time.
And you didn't ask me about why I left the interview.
Because two questions too much.
Eh?
2 questions too much.
I think it was quite simple.